Hello and welcome to a Smurpy video, and today we're looking at Go-Go Power Rangers Book 1 Deluxe Edition. And on here we have the variant cover. Not that they do direct market covers or anything like that, but this is a variant cover which they were releasing on Go-Go Power Rangers. And I'll be honest with you, I made it like a rule that I didn't buy lots of variants for Go-Go Power Rangers because I was doing a lot of that on Mighty Morphin, so I tried not to. However, I do wish that I brought the movie variants. That, in hindsight, is a wonderful thing sometimes. I'm not going to try and collect them now though. So it's the hardback format, and on the side, bear in mind mine has a dink which I'll be requesting a replacement, but I thought, well, do you know what, I can do the review. And on here you have something different. So you have Angel Grove instead of a Power Ranger sign, because you can imagine there is probably only room for another book in my mind. And this is written by Ryan Parrott, Margaret Bennett. You got lots of artists here. And on the back you just have this. So it's a beautiful, beautiful format in terms of how they deliver this book. So what does this collect? Sorry, you can't see that. That's on there. So let me adjust my camera so we can see everything, or try to see everything. That's the idea. And I keep saying to myself, I really need to invest in a stand where I can get a full omnibus viewed in my camera. So on the back here, you have lots of quotes from the likes of Newsarama, Multiversity Comics, IGN. So these are sort of like news websites, etc., that give us news on comics. And then it's here who are the senior team, and then Hasbro special thanks to these folks and all these folks down here. I'm not going to try and read their names. And what does this collect? So this collects Mighty Go-Go Power Rangers issue 1 to 16 and Go-Go Power Rangers. It was like an annual back to school. So Go-Go Power Rangers came out about a year after Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, with Ryan leading the helm, hence why he ended up being on Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, because he brought such success here. You can see the binding there, which I find a bit weird. I'm not sure if it's just this one book. So yeah, that's really weird. So in here it's got who's doing what in here, which is pretty awesome. And then under here, so they've got the cover for issue 1 on here in red, and then you've got this beautiful, beautiful artwork. So in terms of Go-Go Power Rangers, for me, I actually like this sometimes better than Mighty Morphin. However, I felt it lost its way sometimes when it did events. So it's got the Shattered Grid event in here, for example, and it will have the Necessarily Evil event as well, which is a crossover, which sort of leads to the end of this series. So so the series was very character driven, and do you know what I used to love as well? So they used to sort of, in the beginning of the issue, so the beginning of the issue was show you sort of moments before arrival day, as they call it, and it would show each sort of ranger in what they would do before. Bulk and Skull have more of a presence in this series as well. They have their Ranger show series, and there is more of a spotlight on the villains as well, as they are looked at a little bit more closely. The action is there, and we also have Matt, who eventually, this is a spoiler if you've not read anything. There we go. You've had enough moment to pause. Matt, who eventually becomes a Green Ranger in the future, which is pretty decent. So I really enjoyed this run. I'm really, really excited to read this. I got my book from Forbidden Planet, which is pretty awesome. And there are moments where Billy has a moment of clarity where he wants to give up being a Power Ranger. This is the bit where it shows you 1,000 years ago stuff that used to happen, which I really enjoyed those little flashbacks, etc. So there are some great moments, and it's sort of Homecoming where they sort of end the first arc. And then they move on to the first appearance of Ranger Slayer is actually in Go-Go Power Rangers. Issue 9, I'm going to say. Or is it issue 8? Could be issue 8. That's her first, issue 8. That is her first experience at the end of that issue. And then we've got the Shattered Grid crossover, which I don't think is many episodes. I think it's a few episodes and they cross over. And it ties in with the main event. Now, if you haven't brought Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Shattered Grid hardcover, which has this in it, this is a way to do it. I'm glad that they've just got all the issues in here, because I feel like I would just enjoy reading Go-Go Power Rangers on its own. And I waited for this book for years. I've been shouting, oh man, come on, give us an omnibus or give us Go-Go Power Rangers. I've really wanted them to do this for a long time. So I'm very, very glad that they do. So after the Shattered Grid event, they, if I remember correctly, they have Back to School. I feel like Back to School happens then. And then they have this sort of journey towards Green with Evil, if I remember correctly. And then we get this crossover where Trini and the Rangers also swap colors when they're on a different world, which is pretty decent. And Jason and Trini have a really nice blossoming dating relationship, which eventually ends. And we also find out how she gets the dragon, Rita gets the dragon coin as well. So there's some really good stuff in there. So Back to School is later on. I apologize. And that is covered by Margaret Bennett. So she does this one shot. We also see Alpha 1 as well, which is pretty awesome. So there is some real content in there. And am I right in thinking Back to School is how this book ends, which I feel is very good. We learn about Master Val a little bit, about her mother, and that is expanded later on as well, which is great. And the good thing about these books, which I always love, is the covers. The cover gallery was always my favorite part of these books. So I'm really good. I'm really glad that they have kept this in it. That was my hardest individual issue to collect, if I remember correctly. Yeah, it was. It was. What are you on about? You know that was your hardest one. It's time of your life until it's morphin time. So these are the movie ones, of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I'm not going to pretend to remember every single one of these, what they are. Back to the Future. There was also some album ones. This one's Teen Wolf, which is probably one of the rarest ones to get. So some of these I do wish I got. This Bureau Day, Bureau Ferris's Day Off, is that it? So, Mole Rats. Is that Sank McGuire? There we go. So you got lots of, you see all the variants in here, which I do really like, and there were some really beautiful covers. I'm glad that I didn't pick them. This is the ones that would have been based, the cover would have been based off. These were really nice. I was really tempted by these as well back in the day. I'm glad I didn't get them. And then we got the behind the scenes featuring art from Dan and Eleonora. So it shows them what they were like in these earlier days, which is pretty decent. So some sketches. So some really nice stuff in there. And then you can get some other more Power Ranger stuff if you were interested. So it is a beautiful book. I'm really glad that I've got it. I hope this helps you decide if you decide you want to venture into Go-Go Power Rangers or Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers hardbacks are really hard to get. I would suggest picking these up. They are worth the spend in my mind, and they do look beautiful. So I'm just going to bring this up quickly because I just want to show it next to an omnibus, because remember this got about 17 issues, and then I've got a Marvel omnibus which I'm just going to bring out, which is a bit dusty, hence the blow-in, and then this is Excalibur. So Yeah, that's Rita. I need to do some cleaning at some point. So you can see the thickness of this compared to a bigger omnibus, which has probably got about 40 to 50 issues in it. So that tells you that not only has it got good content in the 17 issues, it gives you nice content in the extras, and it's a nice hardback book that will go on your shelf. Otherwise, this would have been a smaller book. I feel like they could have easily done an omnibus with Go-Go Power Rangers, but they've decided to go down this format, which works in my mind. And some strange fireworks going on during the day. Anyway, I hope you like my video. If you do, please subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate it. Make sure you look after yourself. Very important these days. And as always, embrace the geekiness. Take care. Goodbye.